Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, John Jordan. So, in my previous video, I was playing Upland, which is a blockchain game, a mobile game with kind of location elements. Had a few problems with it. Won't go into those details now. If you're interested, have a look at the first-time user experience video for Upland. But eventually, I got there. So the kind of main issue is you can kind of play the game and not be an Uplander, which is the kind of level you have to be to actually interact with the blockchain stuff. So I was kind of messing around, and there's lots of things you can't do unless you are kind of upgrade, which means you have to kind of spend real money, but it's not very clear how you do that. So anyway, finally I got there. And I can become an Uplander and enjoy true ownership. So let's see how this plays out. Okay, so at the moment you can see I'm a visitor, but now I'm going to be I'm going to level up. Okay. So I think the issue here is the game is running on the EOS blockchain, and one issue with the EOS blockchain is it costs EOS to create a wallet. So with Tron and Ethereum, you can just create those wallets without having any of that cryptocurrency to begin with, which is obviously makes things easy. Then the problem is obviously you've got a wallet without anything in it. Which is then not so clever unless you already have other wallets with assets in them. So one of the interesting things about EOS is that you have to spend money. Also, that means you generally have fewer spam accounts. Not always the case, but if it costs money to kind of create these accounts, then you assume people are doing have reasons to do it. So, and the other nice thing about it is developers can create accounts for you in the background. So I assume this is what's happening, that the developer is actually creating a EOS account for me, and the fact that I had to, the fact that I spent money in the game is kind of that's the kind of gating mechanic. So they don't just create an EOS account for everyone who enters the game, because that would potentially cost them a lot of money if the game became very successful and you have no idea that the people are actually going to spend money in the game. So I actually they know I've spent money in the game. So okay, so let's start my ceremony. So now I am an Uplander, and now I can actually buy things in there. So there's my certificate. Oh, that's the EOS account. Right, so the thing now I can do is, because I bought the currency in the game, the UPX currency. So in order to do that, you go through a kind of typical, I'm playing on an Android phone, but you go through a typical kind of store experience to buy that. So now I can actually go and buy a building. So let's see if this is going to load. Yeah, so these are much cheaper than they were previously. Interesting. So when I was first playing, when you loaded up the game, you got 3,000 UPX, but then you couldn't actually buy anything in the game anyway, because you had to be an Uplander. So, but it's very difficult to find anything to buy for that money. But now it looks like there's quite a lot of almost 4,000 things. So I can go and buy this property, 41 Lydia Avenue, and currently owned by Ben's Burgers, and I can buy it. Okay. So that looks like that was a blockchain interaction on the EOS blockchain, obviously much faster than Ethereum, no gas fee. So presumably in the wallet they have staked some EOS for me in order to get this transaction through, or they're staking for all their kind of wallet holders. So there we go. So I own it. The owner. So am I Bensberger? No, I don't know. I don't understand that. So you can see here it's actually still going through the monthly earnings. So I get some earnings. I can if I have a collection, I can boost the earnings. I can sell it, send it to someone else. Okay. I could go and buy another one, couldn't I? Yes, I've still got quite a lot of money. So the owner of 900 Huron Avenue is Alan. Not for long. Okay. Okay, so it's obviously taking time to update that. There's obviously there's stuff going on the blockchain, and then that has to then transmit through to the game server as well. So there's two things. Oh, there's another one on this avenue. That's good. So it's good to buy things on the same avenue, I think. So let's buy fewer things on the same road, because I think that plays into this idea of collections. You kind of collect things. You don't just buy random property. You want to buy property kind of. I don't know. I noticed there's one thing where if you bought property on the same street. So Alan's got all this stuff. Let's try this one again. Okay, so still got plenty of money. I wonder if the developer's batching their transactions. It's not going through. Oh, it's just okay. So I think it's probably enough if I go in here. 4 properties. Okay. I haven't got any collections. I thought so. Let's have a look. Are you going to put up these collections? No, not going to show me. Oh yes, right. I bought 3 on that. That's right, 3 on Huron Avenue. Okay, so look at these collections. It's not going to show me, is it? I don't think. That's weird. Right, so you can see these ones are being verified. Okay, I'm actually earning some as well. That's the kind of idea of this kind of monopoly kind of angle, that you want to buy things and then you earn. Now the collections, let's have a look. So own any one property in Upland. So you get a multiple, don't you? Own 3 properties. Own 3 properties on the Sunset and neighbourhood. Oh, okay. Yeah. So own 3 properties on the same street. I should have that one. I guess because it's still verifying. Own 5 properties in the same city. I don't know what city means because it's San Francisco. Own 3 in the Mission. Own 3 in. Is that the same thing? Own 3 in the Mission. Own 3. Mission District, Mission Street. Pacific Heights, who's a trendy area. This is Russian Hill. Haight Ashbury, yeah, Nob Hill. Oh, that's where all the swanky hotels are. Seacliff, don't know where that is. Okay, so you can see here if I want to go, start to get some 2 times multipliers. So there we go. What's that going on there? That's me? Can I collect that then? That's my earnings. Okay, so I can collect those, which again be another transaction. So there we go. I finally started to get a bit of a idea of how the game kind of actually works and actually buying things, which is kind of the point of the game. Obviously, buying things at the very lowest level at the moment, but it's a start. Anyway, thanks for watching. So this is the long view where we play and talk about blockchain games, try and make sense of what's going on. Not always the easiest thing in the world, but if you're interested in blockchain games, please do subscribe to the channel. But otherwise, thanks for watching this video, and hope to see you again soon.